The New York Rangers Brian Boyle, nice enough to join us on the show. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Michael, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Is it tough right now, Brian, not to be overconfident? A team that doesn't have its top goalie. You guys are up 2-0. Next 2 games at Madison Square Garden. Do you have to fight overconfidence?
Well, we need to make sure that we're focused and ready for Game 3, I think, because that's the biggest thing. We come back from down 3-1 with our backs against the wall and playing probably our worst game that we had played all season in these playoffs already. In the last series we had to get through that as a team. So we know how quickly things can turn in a series. We need to kind of keep our foot on the gas.
A lot of players going into Game 2, Brian, didn't seem to care about Carey Price being out. Why do you think that was?
Well, it's not really – I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Obviously, he's a gold medal winning goalie. He's had a great year, and he's a big part of their club. But again, it's their club. That's for them to worry about. We need to kind of worry about what we're doing and what we need to do to prepare. It's not, you don't really think about kind of who you're going down and shooting against. The plays happen so fast. It's just something it's worthless to think about. It doesn't matter one way or another. It is what it is. We expect a goalie to come in and play well that we're playing against. So that's kind of how it always is.
Brian, how much has Chris Kreider meant coming back from the injury? Forget about being in the collision that essentially shelved Price, but how much has he meant to the speed of this team, offensive capabilities of the team? Well, what has he done? Has he been a spark plug for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a great way to put it. He's come back. He worked so hard to get, and to stay in shape. He's obviously in great shape. He's a specimen. He worked so hard to come back and not miss a beat. It's hard to do, to miss all those games and try to come back into playoff hockey when your timing's off and the pace is elevated and, what's at stake is obviously elevated. He's come back and he's been huge for us. His speed, his strength, what he's done, we're getting on the pucks and changing momentum with big hits. It's been great. And obviously he's gotten on the scoreboard, and that's obviously the biggest thing. That's huge for us.
Yeah, he's been big time. And Brian, you're forced to move to center as Dominic Moore moved up a line because of the loss of Derek Brassard. Do you like playing center as opposed to wing?
Yeah, it's something I've always played. I really honestly haven't played much wing at all before this year. And I've grown to like wing. I've been more comfortable with it, obviously, lately. But getting back in the middle was a lot of fun. It's all the reads are different. You're kind of in the thick of things. And I was comfortable. I was happy to play there. I think our line did a great job.
Brian, what happened yesterday is that the Canadiens scored a goal first, and they became only the second team since the second round that actually lost when they scored the first goal. How important was it for your team to have McDonough come right back and score to tie the game before they even announced the score on the board?
That was huge. It really was. We weren't playing well before that. It could have been 2 or 3-0 without Hank's heroics, I guess you should call them. But we tried to get back to playing a simple game and try and get the momentum back after, obviously, a big goal for them. We just tried to throw pucks on net. Mac did a great job of handling a bouncing puck and getting it on the net. And, we got a fortunate bounce. But from there, I think that was, that's a big play that we needed. In fact, the last couple of games, like you say, he's been unbelievable. And that was, to stop the bleeding that quick, not only gave us the momentum, but when they fought so hard to get it, it can be demoralizing sometimes. But they kept coming, but, I think we improved as the game went on.
Now, 2 years ago when you guys made the run to the conference final, it was Tortorella's got you blocking shots. It's part of your game plan. But you guys still do that now, even with Alain Vigneault. Is it just instinctual? You had 3 block shots last night. Is it as much a part of your game plan, or is it just something that instinct kicks in late in a close game?
Well, but late in a close game, you do whatever you can. And if there's a penalty to kill, that's a big part of penalty killing, blocking shots. Even 5-on-5 at any point in time during the game, we need to get in our D's lanes. These guys can shoot. They got some pretty crafty D back there with heavy shots. We kind of try and get in their lane and discourage them from hammering it. But I think that's part of playoff hockey. I think we've always you always hear about that, and our team's no different. Everybody's bought into that. And, for us, I think we got 4 lines we can keep turning them over. And the most important shifts when we're in our end, I think we do a pretty good job as a whole group with even the 60 on the 3. Obviously, the deep pairs and all four lines we're pretty responsible on our end, and we're all willing to block shots and take hits to try and make plays and keep it out of our net.
Now, it takes guts to do that, but Brian, admit it, when PK Subban's taking a shot, I mean, the guy's got a howitzer. You have to wince a little bit when you block that, right?
Just try and get in the lane, and hopefully it hits you where they make the pass. Where you pat it up, it's nice. The technology we have with some of this equipment, it's light and it's pretty durable, but there's plenty of times where it gets you in a tough spot. But hopefully it just doesn't hit you in the face.
We're talking with Brian Boyle of the New York Rangers. Are up 2-0 in this best-of-7 conference finals. Now, speaking of Subban, he said, okay, Lundqvist is good, but we think he's lucky as well. What do you answer to that when he says that Lundqvist is lucky?
Oh, he can think whatever he wants to think. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I have my opinion of Hank, and he's all world. He's on a different planet right now. So, I mean, if you want to call it luck, that's fine, but he's the best I've ever seen right now.